Welcome to our San Francisco 49ers preview on Niners Radio. Brian Professor B. Davis here with former Super Bowl champion Dennis Brown as the 49ers get ready to take on the Los Angeles Rams down at the SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. That will be a 1:25 kickoff time. That will be on KTVU Fox 2 in the Bay Area. And on KNBR 680 104.5, Niners and the Rams regular season finale down in Southern California, the rivalry renewal.
And I think
by the way, Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you too. But this rivalry, the 49er and the Ram rivalry, is probably one of the oldest in the NFL. A lot of people don't know that. And the Rams and the 49ers don't get along very well. It's a divisional game, and this game is super important. I mean, it's the last game. This is the first time we have 18 weeks in the season. You have your last game of the season, and it decides a lot. The Rams are playing. They're still trying to, handle. They're still trying to win the division. The 49ers are trying to back into the Super Bowl somehow or to the playoffs somehow.
Playoff tournament, yeah.
And so this is a super important football game, and, we start the season off talking about the quarterback, and we're going to end the season talking about the quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance. Trey Lance comes in like last week. Kind of tough in the first half. Second half, he improved greatly. We know what Jimmy Garoppolo has done to the Rams. He's 5-0 against the Rams. The Rams have a strong receiving crew and a good quarterback in Matthew Stafford. 49ers have a lot of question marks in the secondary. So
Cooper
we'll see
Kupp
what
is
happens.
the prime consensus candidate for NFL MVP. Probably is the front-right candidate in the clubhouse for the NFL's Offensive Player of the Year for 2021.
Yeah, and Odell Beckham Jr. is not a bad receiver either. They got a couple other really good receivers, and Matthew Stafford might be underrated as a quarterback. I mean, he plays well in the fourth quarter. He throws a lot of touchdowns in the fourth quarter. They adjust well. The Rams have won. I think they're coming off 5 straight wins. So, Von Miller had 2 sacks last week, and we know what Aaron Donald does. So, this is going to be an important game. You got to bring your best game. I mean, the 49ers can't have any mistakes. No. You got to play clean football. But it's going to be interesting to see who plays quarterback. I mean, is it going to be Trey Lance or is it going to be Jimmy Garoppolo? You talk about he's got a broken thumb. How do you grip the ball as a quarterback if you got a fracture in your thumb? So, I'm expecting to see Trey Lance out there. Like I said, he's gotten better. This is big-time football. You got to play big-time football. And
also, of course, your final thoughts, we didn't get touched to it last week, the passing of John Madden. He called a lot of your games, Niner-Cowboy rivalry, that 92 to 95. You were involved in a lot of those games in the 90s, and some Niner Rams and Saints games surrounded that too.
Yeah, and John Madden was, he changed the way people watched football and the way they saw football. And he was, he was a player, he was a coach, and all the other things that he
beat all those
done.
Super Bowl winning coaches, from Landry to Noel to Shula.
Yeah,
and
So and even after football, I mean, I was involved with him and Coach Mariucci. Had their bocce
ball tournament. That's correct.
Yeah, and I was always involved in that. And John Madden is, he's always been a champion for his community. He's been a champion for youth sports, and he did a lot of work for the youth sports in Livermore. So, he's going to be greatly missed. A lot of these young kids now know him for the game, but I know him as a coach and someone who commentated in the game and did a great job at it.
All right, Dennis, you have a Happy New Year.
All
Let's
right.
get them, eh? They got to get this W. Hopefully we'll be right back here next week previewing a playoff, though.
Yes, that's what we need. You got to go in, but you got to play good football.
That's
Clean
right.
football. Defense has to show up. Special teams has to show up. Offense has to put points on the board. All right? Go Niners.
All right. That's former 49ers Super Bowl champion Dennis Brown. Niners and Rams will be at 1:25 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Catch the action on KTVU Fox 2 as Joe Buck and Troy with the call. 49ers pregame live will start at 12 noon Pacific as with Laura Brett, the Kale Spikes, Joe Staley, and the Hitman, Dante Whitner. Catch them on NBC Sports Bay Area at 12 noon. 49ers postgame show live on NBC Sports Bay Area will air immediately following the 49ers Rams contest. And for the latest news on 49ers football and so much more, go to 49ers.com. I'm Brian Professor B. Davis here at the Cow Palace in Daly City for 49ers preview on Niners Radio. Niners Radio is an association with the Satellite Digital Media News Network. 49ers football celebrates 75 years for faithful to the Bay.